Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Yvonne Phillip. I'm a success coach and brand stylist, and I'd like to welcome you to this series called From Stressed to Blessed. So we're going to be taking into account your career, your wellness, your personal style and brand, and take you through the things that you need to go through to move from overwhelm, frustration, procrastination to a life that's full of abundance, living the life of your dreams, and much, much more. So the topic on this video is called How to Kickstart Your Career. And I'm going to give you 10 tips that you need to take to kickstart your career if you've just left university, if you want to change your career, restart your career if you're returning to work, and anything in between. So, I've been working in the development of people in the world of work for over 25 years. So you could say that I've seen a multitude of employers, people looking for work, etc., etc. And what I've done is gathered my top 10 tips for you to take away. And I've also put together a little checklist, which should be somewhere around this video. The link should be. So please take the time to download that if you so wish. Please also comment on the video, like it and share it, because caring and sharing, and we want to spread the love. So let's start from the top with number one. Is the first thing that you need to do is find out and analyse, evaluate your personal brand. So what do you like? What do you dislike? What are your values? What are your passions? Because remember, in terms of you trying to find work, it's a partnership. It's about finding the right job for you and the right employer for you. No longer do we need to think, I just need a job. You're not going to stay in that job if you're going with that kind of attitude. You've got to think, what type of job is going to make me jump out of bed every morning and be the best I can be every day until I decide that it's time to move on. So you need to really think about your personal brand, the message that you want to send, how you want that to be delivered, and how a particular job is going to fit into your life goals. Once you know that, you're going to be able to create the assets that's going to be able to ensure that you get a job. Your assets such as your CV. A killer CV is a must, and there's some key things obviously that you need in your CV, but there's also some mistakes that people can make. And if you want me to make a specific video on CVs, please do comment below. This video isn't about CVs, it's about kind of like how to kickstart your career. So having a killer CV is one of the things that you need, as well as a killer cover letter as well. And you do need to kind of like have your brand story, have your story together about why you want this job, why this job is ideal for you. And then that's expanded in the third piece of the third asset that you have, which is your supporting statement. So once you've got those three things together, you're able to apply for jobs with ease. Obviously, each job you need to tailor make your CV, your cover letter and your supporting statement to make sure that it really packs a punch with that employer and secures you that all important interview. So your interview is number 5. You need first class interview techniques. So one of the things that I always tell my client is when you are answering the interview questions, use the STAR method. I'm going to go into the STAR method in a moment, just as a little bonus for you in this top 10 Kickstarter. But before I go into the STAR method, I'll just let you know that there are 3 types of interviews which are currently being taken in terms of face-to-face interviews. You've got your strength-based, which is quite new on the market. You can't really prepare for a strength-based interview because it really is all about you, the way you do things, the way that you interpret the question. Then you've got the skills-based interview and the competency-based interview as well. So with the latter, you can prepare for those because you can use your job description to think about the types of questions that are going to be answered, and always give examples. No matter what type of interview you're going to, always give examples of the skills, the experience, the knowledge, the education that you have that will enable you to meet the criteria and prove that you can do the job. So the way that you do that is using the STAR method. The S is for situation, talking about a situation. The T is talking about a specific task that you did within that situation. The A is the action that you took, and the R is the result that you did, that you achieved as a result of dealing with that particular situation, task and action. So I hope you understand that. If you need a little bit more information, please do download the checklist and I'll explain it a little bit more detail in there. So the next thing that you need to think about and that will aid your job search is making sure that you've got a really good online presence. So we really do need to clear up your social media. Whatever you do in your evening, unless it's positive and productive for the workplace, those types of accounts need to be on private. Your employer doesn't need to see them. Over 80% of employers now Google you, go onto your LinkedIn profile or search you in some capacity to see what you're like on social media. Because if you're associated with that company, no matter that it's your personal profile, it is something that they're going to may feel, if it's a little bit dodgy, may affect their reputation. So they're going to be really, really hot on that. So make sure that your social media presence, your online presence is clean, tidy and positive. What you might want to do is just try and Google yourself on a computer that doesn't have any information about you and see what comes up. And you may find some things that are very interesting that will give you a couple of actions. One thing that you do know, that you do need, should I say, is to make sure that you have a really, really, really good LinkedIn profile. Because employers can find you on LinkedIn if you're looking for work, and you can also use LinkedIn to find work as well. So make sure that you have a really, really good LinkedIn profile. And all of this, your CV, your cover letter, supporting statement, your LinkedIn profile, these are all things people see before they see you. So, with the statement that it takes between 7 and 30 seconds for somebody to make an opinion of you and for you to create a positive impression, it really, really is important that you make sure that you knock these out of the park and these are on top form. So a lot of people say that employers are getting turned down for jobs because they don't have experience, but they need this experience to get the job. So they're in this vicious cycle of, I don't know what to do because I want to get the experience, but employers aren't giving me the job because I can't get the experience. And it can be very, very, very frustrating. Now, what I would say to you is take on work experience. Now, some of the top employers that I have worked with actually recruit directly out of their work experience program. It's a safe bet for them and it's a safe bet for you. So, for example, if you know you've been on work experience for a week, 2 weeks in a particular company, you know that you can understand the culture of the company. You've almost had a little bit of an induction, although you haven't been onboarded properly. And you can think to yourself, yeah, I think I'd like to work in this place. Well, the employer is thinking the same thing. So if you go on a work experience, it's a good way for you to test the water and also for them to test the water before you make an application. It also gives you some experience. So this work experience may be paid, it may be unpaid, depending on what the organisation does, but it's a great way to build relationships. So I would say, a lot of, my clients that may have just come out of university are like, well, I've been studying for 3 years. I need to get a job now. I can get a job now. You've been studying for 3 years. You haven't been in the workplace for 3 years. So let's get your work experience up. Another way of getting work experience is by volunteering. So if you volunteer your time for free to a worthy cause, it actually says quite a lot about you and your capacity to give, your values, the type of person that you are. And it is very appealing to employers to know that people serve a cause and are willing to do that. It also taps into any social response. Put my teeth back in, you'll get used to me. any corporate social responsibility that they may be moving towards. So if you can't get work experience in a particular company that you want to, please also try to do volunteering as your way of building that experience and building your networks. So on the topic of networks, what I'd also advise you to do is get yourself a mentor. So a mentor is an invaluable source of information within your sector that you want to work in. So you can have various different mentors, a life mentor, an employment mentor, it could be a buddy actually in the workplace. But if you're trying to get into a particular sector, getting a mentor is really good to give you that industry knowledge. They can also vouch for you. If you're trying to get into a particular company, they can recommend you. They may be able to open some doors for you, but obviously that's not what you start the relationship for. So that's another thing that I would advocate that you do in terms to kickstart your career, is to get a mentor. The last thing that I would say that is really, really important is for you to network. So we've all heard the saying, your network is your net worth, and this is really, really, really important. Now I work freelance and take on large scale contacts. Most of my business comes through my network and people that I've known. I help them, they help me along the way. So what I would say to you is go to networking events, network online. That's why it's great and really important that you get your LinkedIn profile sorted. Start adding value so that you can take that value and that knowledge and you can grow and win together. So if you have found this information valuable, please do comment, please do subscribe, please do share this video. If you want some more information, please download the checklists and other goodies that I've left down below for you, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care for now. Bye.